On October 31st, the 7th NPower Solar 2014 convention was held in New Delhi to discuss the roadmap of Energy India Vision 2032. Organized under the aegis of Renewable Energy Promotion Association with the Inertia Foundation, the event had as its theme the Rashtriya Urja SOURYA Mission. The convention envisioned India as a solar superpower, increasing from 50 GW solar in 2022 to 150 GW by 2032. Expansion of the National Solar Mission and moving toward 5% solar power generation share in the mix via capacity enhancement. The event also saw awarded leaders in the solar power sector with the giving away of the SOURYA URJA PURASKAR 2014 at the Royal Plaza Hotel, New Delhi. Also present at the think tank discussions were several power sector bigwigs from the government, PSU and corporate world. Issues pertaining to India's power sector were discussed for submission of an Inertia Foundation and REPA think tank white paper titled Future of Energy, India Vision 2032 to the Honorable Prime Minister of India and Shri Piyush Goyal, the Power Minister. REPA is India's sole umbrella association for renewable energy comprising India's think tank bodies, advising the government on policy and governance issues, including geoeconomics of renewable, clean and green energy and related development and cooperation in India and SAARC nations, and Inertia, Asia's premier journal on sustainable energy power, is the official publication of REPA. The event is a one-of-a-kind event with a futuristic look at the energy self-sustained green India.
Let us drive Chinese investment into our manufacturing, which is more sensible for us to get their money and give a little bit of jolt to the US, because the always dollar funding does not help. The Japanese funds and the Chinese funds will be better for us. Then I think we have to break this model, because all of us go for scouting for oil and coal abroad together. The OGC will also do, the Vidocons will also do, and all of them become friends outside. Officially you will not be friends. Officially you will be like Kutta Billi, fighting it out here. So I think somewhere it has to change. I mean to say these are of national importance. See, in the CRGO, I remember I talked to the chairman Crompton many years back, and I also that time was director was Sir members, and he was very positive. 15% is put by pooling by all of them. Make one company. If you don't want monopoly, create one more company like that, call the next 10 businessmen, and create a standardized level playing field for this. Reduce the taxes, incoming taxes, give a 10-year high interest. I think these are not very difficult things to be achieved by any government. And I think nobody is even moving forward in suggesting, talking, moving and putting up some kind of think tank on this. And we have created this a mountain out of a molehill. Such a powerful country is behaving like a weak meat, and it wants investment from US only. I tell you, US cannot invest. I want to tell the Modi government that you will be the ones who will be investing yourselves. These US fellows will take you down the paths which will actually be drain path. Obama is the most weakest leader in the world today. And we are working with him. He is withdrawing from everywhere, whatever they have done. Only arms race will bring them up. Even their corporates know that that is the way. So I think India is the future market for them. And for the future market, they cannot keep India as an importing economy, importing oil, importing fuel. Now we are importing our edible oil also, 60% of it, palm oil from the world. We keep importing everything. So we are becoming an import economy, and we suit everybody else for this. I'm not talking about protecting. I remember 22nd, I said, sir, we will not work on the anti-dumping. And you remember, sir, I was championing the anti-dumping duty in the case of thermal, and I still champion that. Because thermal, you have 5 manufacturers here. You continue to get this, weakness of an asset into India. And these assets, I tell you, no government, whether it's a Modi government, any government can protect. Tomorrow, the Anil Ambani fellow, his plant becomes a crumbling plant from China. Which bank he will say, if the asset quality is not capable of transferring its life cycle, they will try to sell this plant to somebody else. My shit I will sell to somebody else. This has to stop. So in the solar case, for God's sake, don't allow, compete and let us beat the Chinese. I'm agreeing to that. But at the same time, don't allow modules manufacturers to collapse, because there we cannot allow Chinese. Why at the low end? Let the Chinese investment, let us drive Chinese investment into our manufacturing. It is more sensible for us to get their money and give a little bit of jolt to the US, because the already dollar funding does not help. The Japanese funds and the Chinese funds will be better for us. If Chinese invest, they will stop quarreling with you on the border.
Only one point. As far as solar modules are concerned, there are a number of concerns to make solar modules. If you want inverter, there are enough companies you can make, but of course technology has to improve. Batteries, there are enough companies. But as far as the wafer is concerned, if you take all over the world, there is a government subsidy given anywhere you take, whether it is China or whether it is US, development of gallium arsenide when we wanted to develop the whole grant was given by US. So if you see totally the investment, I am talking in the range of about 15 to 20,000 crores, and the cost of it today, one point which everybody in India, of course all the entrepreneurs should be aware that the rate of interest in India is 14.5%. When any entrepreneur will see that it gives good quick returns. Why they are investing in thermal? Because you get returns in 5 to 6 years. That's the reason. And why they are going to China is they get free credit, almost credit, almost your equipment is not, you don't charge for any equipment, you have to pay it in 20 years with zero rate of interest or something like that. So what I am telling as far as solar is concerned, because this is more on solar, there is a necessity for the government for putting some grant so that this becomes viable for manufacture. This is true of all the countries in the world. So, and it can be then the cost as benefit is going only to the that I don't think we can match the prices what others are listing. Then you go for anti-dumping duty and all that, which can be challenged in WTO and all other things. So what I am requesting, if Professor Iyer can take up with some of you can take up with the government a grant to establish polysilicon comes down.
Right, sir. So that is precisely, sir. I saw, from the investment, as you said, about interest rate, the American money will cost more now. So the German money will also cost less, and the European money. The money coming from, and that's what I want Kanaza to throw a light on. Right now, technology is available in Europe, literally.
Let's be very frank. Technology is available, and there is always room for improvement of technology, and people are doing it. The question is, how do I motivate on macro and micro level? This is one of the major issues. And if I look today at the world capacity of the solar PV side, it's about 170 gigawatts, from which Germany itself has crossed now about 38 gigawatts actually. German economy is based on...
Which is really a reach which the national solar mission has been able to break.
That's right, sir.
So I think we have got one step. Now we talk about the technology, the production capacities. Production capacities, if you talk about on the modules in India, are we able to really consume that kind of capacity today? That is the question mark.
That is it.
We have to first be able to at least consume what is being produced in India.
That's right.
Then coming to the vehicles, 40% can be exported. Nobody is going to make the investment. Then you give 50% grant or you give 70% grant. So I think first is to create a market.
That's right.
Now as Professor said, 100,000 megawatt, it's a good sign. So creating market is important.
That's right.
I can talk about the conventional when we're talking about bringing this said that you will have 400,000 by 2027, 800,000 megawatt of power. So everybody was impressed and brought the money as well as the technology. That's another matter that things are not gone in that same fashion. But nevertheless, people when they're interested, they will find some way out. The government will also come out. But with this 100,000,
and you have had series of, I would say, such hectic meetings I don't think we have seen, and NREPA has been at the forefront of this, and we have actually almost expanded the vision today, the way we have produced our report. The REPA report said 50 gigawatt, and I have seen that this is an agreement that 60, 70 gigawatt can even happen, today. So what is your views? What is the way forward? Now we have identified our targets, and we did our country can absorb, pricing is competitive. But how does you at the helm of the FMC, what are the pluses and the minuses? Aruna sir has said something from the point of view of the the point of view of market, against contractual obligation of the past, where people cannot rework those contracts which were done before. So what what is the view at the NRI? What is your personal view and also, I would say, professional view on this, not only the NRI view, that how we can really scale this up without hurting quality, without...
So you want to know the view of MNRE.
First,
MNRE's view is that we should do a huge quantity of solar. Maybe we are not talking about 1 lakh megawatt, it's not an official target yet, but the end result is that the sector should expand, and it should expand many folds.
right,
So now that we have reached, say, I think the current figure is I think about 2,830 or 40 megawatts.
right, 3 gigawatt roughly, close to 3 gigawatts.
Yeah, close to 3 gigawatt. So now that close to 3 gigawatt has to go several times, and it has to happen very fast.
Right.
China did 13,000 megawatts in 1 year. Now Germany at peak was doing say about 7 gigawatts in a year.
That's right.
And no country has so far done maybe 20 gigawatts in a year.
That's
Supposing we say that India wants to do 20 gigawatts in a year.
That's a good idea.
Now, is that possible? That's the major question. That can we do that? We can't do it immediately. I'm not saying that we can do it next year or we can do it 2 years later.
Maybe the next
Can we
one.
gradually scale up and reach that level? So now, what is stopping us? Because today people are saying that solar has reached a level where now people are bidding at 6.5, 7 rupees.
Even lower.
Yeah, and for with incremental tariff, Andhra has just done it. So they got 5 rupees 30 paisa or something first year tariff, which is coming to a level which is quite affordable.
Right.
So now where is the main constraint? So in my mind there are two very important things to be understood. One is that the discounts have to be willing to buy. That's the most critical thing, because after all, if the discounts are willing to buy, then there are developers and there are people who will set up the project. So that's the most critical thing. And second, the critical thing is that wherever a project is set up, some transmission capability should be there so that the grid is able to take that part. So these two things are very critical. After that, then other things like having loans available, banks coming forward, financing, availability of the various components including panels and cells and modules and supporting structures and inverters and everything that goes into a plant. But I think all these other things can happen, even land availability, all these other things can happen. The main constraint would be these two: discount, willing to buy, and just willing to buy. That doesn't mean that someone comes and says, okay, I'm going to buy so much power. He should be able to pay also, because if he is buying, then he should be able to pay for that power also. And transmission capabilities should be there, because if the transmission line will take 3 years to be built, then obviously the solar power project cannot come up before that. So now considering these two, what is the solution if we have to scale up in a big way? Then there are two alternatives which are available for us. One is do rooftops in a big way, because in rooftops then to some extent at least that transmission constraint is not there, and that buying constraint is also not there, because most of the power would be consumed by the rooftop owner. It could be industry, it could be commercial, it could be hospitals, it could be schools, it could be any of these. But then the discounts start getting a feeling that their good customers will go away, so they start resisting that. So, but still, I see that as a big area where good expansion can take place. What we need to do there is we need to make available cheap cost funds, and then of course when companies can take over, they can build their own market, they can go and market to all the potential customers and try to take this forward. And the second big area could be if we are able to develop these solar parks. This concept of solar parks has been developed because we are taking care of two things. One, we are building the transmission infrastructure, land, of course, all that is there. But second thing is that we are also taking commitment from the states that we are subsidizing to this extent. Now you agree to buy most of this park. So if these two things happen, then automatically those parks and those projects will come up. So now these two, I think, are good possibility. Solar park can come up in say 2 years, including transmission. the power project which is to be located in the park can also come up in maybe less than 2 years. The solar projects can be set up by anyone. So now that is one side of the story. Now the other side of the story is that who will set up these power projects?
Yes, sir.
Do we have enough developers? We do have enough developers in the private sector, but do we have enough people who are willing to put in the money? So that's why we are trying to tap the rich, and one set of rich guys are PSUs. PSUs have some money which they can invest. So that is one set of rich guys. The other set of rich guys are companies which are not yet in the power sector, but they have surpluses and they can invest, and this turns out to be a safe sector. So can we target them? The benefit of accelerated depreciation is available, so that should be a good attraction. So I think that gradually it is just this understanding which has to come, and then at least these two sets of high net worth organizations will come forward to set up their projects. On the other side, discoms have to come forward to buy it. So it's just bringing these two together and then putting that transmission infrastructure in between. So things can happen fast, and we can scale up. What I am seeing is that in the last 3-4 months, 5-6 months, there has been a lot of interest, at least from some states.
Yes,
At least some states are now at least talking on their own without anything coming from our side. Some states have come up with the large tender also, and they are talking of gigawatts. They are talking of big quantities. They are also willing to buy in gigawatts. So if that trend continues, it spreads to other states, then I think we do have a state.
Right, sir. So in this, one last comment, and then we'll go for the awards first. I want please give a big hand. These are Indian awards for the solar sector in particular. See, we have our ENERTIA awards. They for steering the health to the please give a big hand. They have the community. And I will request Ravi Kumar ji, Deputy Mayor and Khanasa to please give this trophy to them. And also Khanasa, please give a big hand. Let us have the photo opportunity, please. Sir, please. We would like Kapoor sir to also say a few words. Can we have the mic, please? Sir. Kapoor sir, please.
Is happening with efforts from all the stakeholders. The power projects get set up by the developers, and that's where the real fight is. That's where the real efforts are put in, because they are the ones who have to get the land, get all clearances, and really face the brunt and get those projects running, and then after that operate them also. The government's role is to create an atmosphere so that people can come forward, and that's a very small role compared to the people who actually go and implement this. And then state governments have a very major role. Then all the engineers who are connected with this technology, the manufacturers. I think there are so many stakeholders who come together, and that's the way we are able to achieve something. This phase of solar mission, phase 1, has been just a preparatory phase. Now is the time when we have to scale up, and the big fight is starting now. And I think we need all the companies, all individuals connected with the sector to put their best, to really come forward and take this as a challenge. Then I think, I'm quite sure that India will be able to earn a big name in this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I personally feel, sir, superpower in India in the solar is that it becomes more open, keeps interactive. Thanks again, sir, for all the work that you have done to bring India on the map of solar. Thank you again, sir. Now we will first give the state awards, because that matters, you know. The first winner of Shrestha Rashtriya SOURYA URJA Puraskar is the state of Gujarat, which has achieved close to 1 gigawatt. And may I have Shri Rajendra Mistry, who is from DP, sir. Please come over, Mistry sir. Please give him a big hand. He was responsible for the Gujarat Solar Park, the largest park in Asia, 214 megawatt. I think they set the tone for the country. In felicitating them. Please give a big hand to Rajasthan, a state that can power India in a big way so. I think I want more energy in this class. Every single is a winner here. Big winner. Few words, Gopri sir. Please give a big hand. All the way from Chhattisgarh, a state which will also be able to solar plant in a bigger way. Known for its thermal capacity and also a part of the state of India. Please give a big hand. May I request Shukla sir also to tell us, he has said a lot of things, but I think you will always love to hear him again. Ravi Kumarji, the chairman of our junior NewsX also. Please give a big hand. Arora sir has spent his life, his belief that solar will succeed has come true today. Arora sir, a few words. Renewable operates 50 megawatt most comprehensive manufacturing line in Baroda for solar modules. Please give him a big hand once again.